Agriculture is such an important thing to the state of Kentucky, and we're glad that you both took time to come here and hear what's important to Kentucky agriculture and the Kentucky Farm Bureau today. I'm going to speak with you a little bit about national farm policy. It's a very important issue that we have for agriculture here in Kentucky, and we know that a strong agricultural base is essential to any nation's long-term success and security. Farmers in the United States produce the world's safest, most abundant, and most economical supply of food and fiber. Agriculture is also playing a significant role in the production of renewable energy. Sound national farm policy is critical to keeping a strong agriculture in the United States. The 2008 Farm Bill reflected many of the positive elements of the 2002 Farm Bill and maintains the three-legged safety net for agriculture while enhancing conservation program and focusing new resources. And one of the big things that we're about is beginning farmers and ranchers, fruit and vegetable crops, and livestock. Kentucky Farm Bureau policy advocates maintaining this safety net and focusing conservation programs on working lands. Our policy also advocates USDA maintain an efficient and effective way to deliver programs to local farmers. As you know, during your term in office, we'll be writing a new farm bill, and we will be working with you in that. I have two questions I would like to pose to you today. The first, what measures would you take to ensure American agriculture has the support needed to continue producing the food and fiber that this country will need in the future? And second, how would you further strengthen national farm policy to ensure American agriculture remains a viable industry? Thank you.
Thank you, Eddie. And first response will be from Mr. Conway.
Well, thank you, Mr. Melton. I appreciate that question very much. On this particular issue, there could not be a stronger distinction between our campaign and that of my opponent. My opponent has stated unequivocally for the record that he wants to do away with the United States Department of Agriculture and he wants to end farm subsidies. This is a greatly misunderstood issue. I mean, it's very easy to stand up and say, let's do away with payments to farmers. You're an easy target. I'm a fiscally responsible Democrat, let me say that. I want a government that we can afford. But we cannot afford a system that would be a drag on net farm income. And the Farm Bill is a greatly misunderstood issue. About 75% of the Farm Bill in 2008 goes to nutritional programs. We're talking about over 500,000 children here in the Commonwealth of Kentucky in a school lunch program. About 250,000 kids here in the Commonwealth of Kentucky in a breakfast program. Are we going to do away with that? Are we going to do away with that in these difficult economic times? You know, farmers too often in the state get caught in what's called the cost-price squeeze. You're trying to figure out, you're trying to use the latest technology to figure out how much you're going to be able to get at market for your products, but yet you know the cost going into it. And what farm policy does is it gives the farmers of this state some assurance that they're going to be able to earn a decent living and that they're going to have sustainable net farm income going into the future. And when you put these programs together, farmers have the assurances that they're going to be able to continue on with their small business or with their family-run business. And I will work diligently with Senator McConnell. I will work with anyone, regardless of policy, regardless of party, rather, to make certain that in 2012, when farm reauthorization comes up, that we put a program in place that continues our sustainable agriculture, that continues the conservation programs, that provides the farm storage loans that are so important for a lot of farmers who are just getting started or farmers who want to rehabilitate the facilities they have, or the early assistance that many farmers get through the important programs of the USDA. This is an issue, as I said at the outset, that is greatly misunderstood. So I support the Farm Bill as it stands. I support the fact that over 60,000 farmers here in Kentucky got over $400 million in assistance over the last year to make certain that the farm economy is sustainable. And again, I go back to my opening comments. This is a food security issue. This is a national security issue. We have a farm economy in this country that allows us as a society to spend less of our disposable income on food than any other economy in the world. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. And when I'm your next United States Senator, I'll be up there putting Kentucky first. And yes, I'm going to be working with you, and I look forward to working with you, Senator McConnell, and with Democrats to make certain people understand how important this issue is to Kentucky.
Thank you. Next, Dr. Paul.
I see we'll probably have to clarify some misinterpretations of my position. I'm not for getting rid of the Department of Agriculture. We can get that one out of the way. Of farm production, we actually export about 25%. So that means we're feeding everybody in the country, and then we export 25% of our production. So we can either, if we want to grow as farmers, we can either feed people more who live here or export more. My question to Jack is, will he defy his union buddies and vote for free trade? Will he defy his union buddies and allow you to have more markets overseas where you can sell your goods? That's where your growth comes from. 65% of farmers in Kentucky don't receive anything from the federal government. 2/3 of all food production has nothing to do with subsidies. People just go out, make something, and sell it. And that's the way business has historically been in this country. There was discussion of a safety net. I think there can be a safety net, and there should be a safety net. But you know what? The top 3 recipients of subsidies last year got almost $1 billion. We're spending $1 billion for people not to grow crops, okay? We can't do that forever. And if we could, maybe we could. But look, we have a $2 trillion deficit, $400 billion in interest. When Jack says he'll give you whatever you want, that's the easy thing to do. I could come up here and do that and say, what do you want? I'll give it to you. The problem is, where's the money come from? It's got to be borrowed from China right now, or we have to print up the money. We are drowning in a sea of debt. And it's not whether you're for or against farmers. If you want to be for farmers, open up markets, Jack. But don't just say, I'll give you more money when the money is gone. We're $2 trillion in debt every year now. So everything we say, we have to say, where's the money going to come from? I would say there are other things that can help farmers. Why don't we not let the Bush tax cuts expire? Why don't we not institute the estate tax? They want to bring back the estate tax. You think that's going to be good for farmers? The Bush tax cuts, lowering capital gains, lowering taxes on savings, lowering taxes on dividends, all of those are going to expire. You help farmers the same way you help all businesses. You need to keep taxes low. You need to keep regulations low. You need to keep the government out of your hair. You need to keep the EPA out of your business. You need to have more local control of farms. But you do need new products, and you need new places to sell your products, and that is generally through trade. So being in favor of trade is the best chance for farmers' income to grow, and the best chance for your markets to grow is to allow free trade, and I will fight for that, and I will fight to keep the government out of your way, but I cannot simply promise you that we will just keep passing out money. It is really galling to people that 3 companies in the U.S. got over $1 billion, okay? 3 companies. There are 95 acres in Texas that is a subdivision now, and they're still getting money not to grow crops. You have to get rid of those abuses. And you can stand up here and pander and just say, we'll give you what you want, or you can acknowledge that our country faces serious financial problems, and that if the country is destroyed by this, we'll all be no better by it. Thank you.